What if I told you aliens really do exist? Do not watch if you get easily paranoid. Ever since we were able to talk, we all knew about aliens. They were in kids' books, textbooks, and well, basically everywhere. You either believe them, don't believe them, or just don't care. But what if I could prove to you they're real? Let's start from the way beginning. In 1470, Leonardo da Vinci painted the Madonna. And in the background of this painting, there's, well, a UFO. Without technology and the internet, how did Da Vinci know about UFOs? But what about some more recent evidence? In the last decade, a lot of pictures of UFOs have skyrocketed, or even leaked images from the Roswell crash. But get this, in the last month, the United States government released official UFO footage. Here's that footage.
I'm sure there's something out there, and the government, they are hiding it from us. I don't know what, but they're hiding it.
Arizona, just driving through, and tell me when the fuck they started making clouds. What the fuck? Yo, I've been through here like 20 times, I've never seen this shit. That's wild.
The United States government doesn't want you to know what really happened in Miami New Year 2024.
I look back, no cap, yo, no cap. I look back, it looked like a big ass shadow, but it was solid at the same time.
Disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only and shouldn't be taken serious. Hundreds of police officers, helicopters, and more showed up for a call that allegedly was teenagers fighting with sticks. That's what they are telling us happened. But have you ever seen a police response like this for a fight? What if the truth is so sinister that once it gets out there, Pandora's box will forever be open? It's said that 7 to 10 foot tall creatures cloaked like something from a Predator movie and appearing as shadows was in that mall. People inside were firing gunshots at these creatures, and everyone was so scared that nobody could even pull out a phone to record. They was in fight or flight mode, and they was flighting. But this man later recorded the truth. Watch this.
A few shadows, but they were solid at the same time, and it almost looked like they was coming our direction, like they was chasing us, but they was disappearing and reappearing closer. So I'm like, yo, what? So we start really moving. Next thing you know, we start hearing more gunshots, like these dudes start fighting.
And listen to what this pastor says.
I've been trying for 7 years, and I get ridiculed if I start talking about these are not aliens from another planet. These are interdimensional beings that have been given a body.
So people in the Miami Mall reported that they saw some giant shadow figures. But is it true or not? We don't know.
What's a conspiracy theory that absolutely blows your mind?
Human beings come from Mars. Crazy, I know, but hear me out. Okay, so you guys know how that they're saying that there's water on Mars underneath the surface? So there's a scientific theory that you cannot introduce an element into an environment and sustain that element unless that element was already sustainable there. So what that means is that if water is being naturally restored to Mars, that means that Mars has already had a natural water source. Next part, you know how they said that the redness in Mars has been going away? Yeah, that means that Mars isn't naturally red. Want to know what can cause a planet to turn red and then change after a couple million years? So if enough nukes were to go off on a planet, the first thing that would happen is a nuclear winter. A nuclear winter is the aftermath of nuclear blasts causing ash that is so thick that it blocks out the sunlight in the atmosphere. Nuclear winters can last anywhere between 100 years to 1,000, depending on how much ash is in the atmosphere. After all of the natural resources are drained up from the nuclear winter, the planet turns red from dust. My theory is that we come from Mars after we drained all of its natural resources and destroyed it with nuclear bombs. That is why we are currently trying to leave this planet now.
Oh, so we came from Mars. And our ancestors lived on Mars.
This is the man that was sitting next to the woman on the plane, and I'm going to show you guys the footage from the body cams of the police officers when they talked to him.
Yeah, she just pushing me like, are you at the part of the, I don't know who's talking to in the phone. Okay. So I was just sitting right here, and she just coming to me.
Did she say anything before that to you? No?
No.
And you didn't say anything to her?
No.
Are you okay? You hurt?
Yeah. No, I'm okay.
You sure?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I held my flight, so it's just going to be like 20 minutes. Okay. So that assault, what does that mean?
Assault? It means to attack, to fight somebody, to push them, hurt them, to bring some kind of harm, bodily injury.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. No, she just
You don't want to do anything about it? It's okay. Okay. All right. I'm okay. Do you mind if I get your information real quick? Yeah.
So Nike's under some serious allegations after two things appeared. First one, these shoes. Yes, they're supposed to be Satan's shoes for Lil Nas X, but that's not the worst part. These shoes apparently have a drop of human blood on them. And no, we have not been told where that blood came from. I already think it's goofy as fuck that Nike's making a Satan shoe, but the fact that there's human blood on it, I mean, you gotta be kidding me. And the second reason why a lot of people are starting to hate Nike, this one is just a conspiracy. A lot of people think that Nike killed Kobe. This comes after people found out that Kobe was actually going to leave Nike to create his own shoe brand. This shoe brand was supposed to be a representative of all athletes, and here's the big twist. The athletes get all the commission. When you have the top NBA player in Kobe Bryant, plus cutting out the middleman of Nike, and promising players a shit ton more money than they would ever make with Nike, you got yourself a problem. Plus, a ton of big athletes have been saying that if he ever did it, they would 100% join. So the conspiracy is that they had Kobe's helicopter crash, so number one, they could keep his shoe, and number two, so they didn't lose billions if he did decide to make his own company.
There's a CIA document that came out. Everybody just started talking about it now. It's called the Adam and Eve story. It basically explains how the world is going to end. Has it been true? It makes sense. They say the world is gonna end because the poles, like, you know, North and South Pole, they shift every 12,000 to 15,000 years. And once they shift, it causes like a giant like apocalypse. Big earthquakes, giant tsunamis. Once the apocalypse happens, we go right back to the Stone Age. And it's said that our first humans, like as us, it was 10,000 years ago. So if you think about it, 10,000 years ago, we're in year 2000. We're at 12,000 years right now. And now you see like global warming and shit like that. Like in the book, it says that we are the sixth civilization that came out of the apocalypse. So we just get to a certain point in life and then it just hard reset. And that explains a lot because remember how you were saying that the Sahara Desert used to be green and like the Antarctica used to have forests and like that? Yeah. That's what happens. Like it switches everything, it flips. Yeah. So now like some places turn cold, some places turn hot. That's why they was talking about like the flood in the Bible like that. That's probably what happened to Atlantis and shit like that. I was just about to say Atlantis.
This may be the most proof I've ever seen that the Illuminati actually exist. In this clip, Simon Lou starts talking about the Illuminati, and he turns his attention to Andrew Garfield, and notice what happens next.
Illuminati real? And if so, why haven't I been invited? Garfield, where are you? I know you know. I know you know.
Now let's look at that again.
I know you know.
But that's nothing compared to this next one. Kelly Clarkson is interviewing Kevin Hart when she starts talking about being offered major money for sketchy things. Pay attention to Kevin's response.
$dollars in my face to do something I didn't want to do. And what? Just, you've been offered, yeah. Oh, they're in the room.
It's almost like these actors know they shouldn't be talking about these things. Let me know what you think in the comments below.
It seems like they're joking, but deep down, there's an underlying message on things that they shouldn't talk about.
Apparently, I think like 2 weeks ago, there was this girl who lives in Canada with her grandpa. She has like horses, stuff like that, and I guess she goes and she rides her horses like every other day, right? And so she's taking this trail that she usually goes on, and when she's going down that trail, she sees a dead deer. I'm gonna leave it there so I can see if any other animals, like any other wildlife, will come and try to eat it or see what's good with it, right? So she leaves the camera by the deer so she could see if there's gonna be like bears or whatever the fuck is gonna come by. What the grandpa sees the next morning on the shit is fucking insane, bro. There are two naked women on the fucking camera. Like, I don't even know how to explain
deer?
And they were eating the fucking deer, Mike. I don't even know how to explain this shit.
Fuck?
I'm dead ass serious. Bro, they're eating it, bro. All you see,
and they're naked.
And they're naked, bro. In the video, all you see is
old women,
bro. No.
Wait, there's videos of it.
I will fucking show you. That's what I told you. I'm gonna show you after.
Okay.
They're both butt naked, but they're both wearing like loincloths, like cave women or something.
It's fucking dark shit. But when you find out the prevalence of it in the Catholic Church, it's like, holy shit. They would catch these guys molesting children, they move them somewhere else. There was one guy that Pope Benedict had moved from one place to another place, and this one priest went on to molest 100 deaf kids. They brought him to a place where the kids were deaf. I mean, is there another organization that's so inexorably tied to child molesting like the Catholic Church?
Oftentimes pedophiles will become priests just because so they can get access to children.
Well, not just access to children, but access to children where they are the representatives of God. So they have power over the parents, they have power over the church.
It's dark.
It's dark, man. It's not a blanket statement you could say about people who run daycares. It's not. But man, when it comes to Catholic Church, it's so prevalent. and so hidden.
Well, there's a theory, 6ix9ine, when he was going on that whole rampage of like, I want to beef with everybody, he is actually a Fed. And he just wanted to cause all that beef, trying to find out all the different criminal organizations within the rap industry. So listen, trying to beef with everybody, right?
He did, yeah.
He's trying to beef with, and we know he cooperates with the government already.
Oh,
He
yeah.
already cooperates with the FBI, period. So what if he was just like an industry plant by the FBI?
But then, like, it makes sense because, yeah, because he did get out.
He did get out. There you go.
The charges that he was charged for, people usually don't get out for. Fam.
Exactly, bro.
The fact that he got out clear, it was supposed to be like 50 years or something. Why the hell did it go from 50 to 0 just like that?
Again, he was encouraging violence. He was encouraging illegal shit to happen. That's kind of like a trap, bro. Because we know already FBI or police will put undercover agents into that scene. Just like in, remember Fast and Furious? Yeah. Put Paul Walker there, he was a cop.
So a lot of people are trying to tell me that the pyramids weren't built under the sand and that that's a crazy idea.
People are calling you crazy for thinking the Great Pyramid was built underneath 450 feet of sand. Yeah, I agree with you, actually. That's not crazy. That's batshit fucking insane is what that is.
So why did they only put gold at the top of the pyramid?
There is not a single person who knows what the capstone of the Great Pyramid was, or even if there was one. Who knows, maybe it was gold. And if it was, then maybe they clad the whole pyramid in it and it was all stolen. Considering you don't cite how you know what was on top of the Great Pyramid, I'm gonna assume you just pulled it directly out of your ass.
Because the gold tip was the only thing showing above the sand.
Have you ever touched sand? Parents ever bring you to a beach as a kid? You know, you dig in the sand, you try and dig a tunnel, and it immediately collapses in on itself. Why would you ever build something 400 feet tall with a 750-foot wide base underneath sand? Could you guys precision quarry 6.5 million tons of stone for me to just bury in the desert? Are you literally out of your fucking mind?
Since Classics TikTok got their jimmies rustled by me pointing out there's actually no evidence at all that Alexander the Great was a man.
Hey guys! First of all, yes there is.
Plenty of context clues that she might have been a woman.
There aren't. I mean, let's think critically about this for a second. In all of the mosaics of Alexander, he's depicted as a man. All of his armor is male. All of his companions were men. He was taught by an Athenian, Aristotle, and if Donna knew anything about Athenian society, she would know that they weren't exactly keen on educating women. We also know that Alexander married and had children with a woman. There is not a single contemporary account suggesting that Alexander was a woman. On top of that, if we go back and we actually look at what she included at the beginning of her clip, this little guy right here, she says that written in Linear B script, it comes out to Alexandra. Nobody was writing in Linear B in 330 BC. Linear B as a writing system seems to have been abandoned entirely by 1100 BC. So to say that if you write out Alexander's name in Linear B phonetic script, then you get Alexandra makes absolutely no sense because his name was Alexander written in Hellenistic Greek.
And I'm a petty piece of shit.
Hey, your words, not mine.
Let's talk about the Casta tomb. In 2012, archaeologists working in Macedonia found the largest Alexandrian tomb ever.
It was discovered in the 60s. They just began excavations in the 2010s. And she's right, it is the largest one. Larger by far than Philip II of Macedon, Alexander's father.
Classics and historians were ecstatic. We'd finally found the tomb of Alexander the Great. There was even mention of Hephaestion, who I still think was Alex's son.
They did think it was Alexander's tomb, but that was quickly proven false. Because nobody in the tomb matching Alexander's description was found. Alexander died at age 32, and the youngest adult found in the tomb was at least 35. And Hephaestion, according to contemporary sources, was Alexander's best friend. He was the same age. They grew up together. They were boyhood friends. They may have even been gay for each other. We aren't sure. But he definitely wasn't Alexander's son.
But then archaeologists started uncovering things like this, the head of the Sphinx, and these 7-foot-tall feminine guardian statues. A reconstruction of the tomb to give you an idea of how big this is.
None of these things are unique to female tombs. The unique part here is how big it is. We're still not sure who's there or why it's so big.
The primary burial was a 5'1", 60-year-old woman.
Like I said before, Alexander the Great died at 32. He was the fourth son of Philip II of Macedon. We have records of who ruled before him. The idea that Alexander the Great died as a 60-year-old 5'1" woman and was buried in this tomb makes absolutely no logical sense. Where is Occam's razor when you need it? She loves to bring up Occam's razor and to mispronounce it. Like, there's so many interesting women in history. Talk about them. Boadicea, Joan of Arc, Nefertiti, pick one of those.
Oh man, Alexander the Great being a woman. That is so absurd.
All right, y'all. So here's my take on what's been going on with the egg situation. Everybody keeps asking me, why is the price of eggs so high? Everybody knows that they're extremely ungodly right now, right? Well, here's a chicken conspiracy for you that's not really a conspiracy. It's being confirmed not only here in our house, but apparently all over the nation. And nobody said anything about it because we all just assumed it was winter. They stopped laying in the winter as much. And come to find out that everybody across the nation stopped getting eggs from their chickens altogether. Nobody got a single egg all winter from there. Everybody's reporting end of September to like mid-October, the chickens stopped laying, and ours stopped laying in September. We hadn't had a single egg all winter. Well, we discovered, we have a little escape artist here, Luna, our white leghorn there. She can get out of the coop and just, we can't contain her. Anyway, she started laying again about a month ago, and we discovered that, well, that's weird. She started to lay and nobody's laid in months. Like, we have gone months. Here you go, Margot. We've gone months without any eggs at all. So we started looking into it, and then finally somebody said something in one of the chicken groups, and they were like, hey, has anybody else's chickens not laid a single egg? Because we've had them for 50 years and we've never gone a winter without a single egg. Not one single egg. Well, we started letting our chickens out and to free range. We usually feed them. You can see they're not even touching the feed anymore. Like, this has been here for 3 days. They don't want it. And apparently everybody who's been feeding their chickens this type of feed has stopped getting eggs altogether. So people who aren't able to let their chickens free range or can't run around in the yard at all aren't getting any eggs. Kind of convenient when eggs are the price of, I don't even know, gold at this point, I guess. But yeah, so let's check over here and see if we have any today where they've been out. We had to keep them up yesterday. Yeah, look at here. There she is. She was laying. I was calling for one. She didn't come. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 eggs today. 7 eggs. Yes, I know it needs cleaned. 7 eggs. 7 eggs in one day. We haven't had any for months. Months, y'all. Months. Feed. It's the feed. Everybody's saying it. It's the same thing all across the nation. If you ask people, we're finally figuring it out. So maybe we can kick this egg thing.
So there's a theory that Shrek was created by this writer, and this writer was fired by Disney. So take this in. His whole plan with Shrek was to make something that was like a middle finger to Disney. So Shrek was actually revenge. So he came out making Shrek, and if you look at the themes in Shrek, the first one, whole castle.
They're like mocking Disney with that?
Yeah, so they're mocking Disney, showing all the cliches, which is princess and a knight and happily ever after, right?
Yeah.
Making Shrek was the complete opposite, destroyed all of those ideas, a regular fairy tale, flip the whole script on it. Take this in. You know Lord Farquaad?
Yeah.
So everybody knows Lord Farquaad. If you say it fast, what does it sound like?
Lord Farquaad.
Lord Farquaad is actually just a freaking derogatory term to say Farquaad. And apparently the writer that put that in, he's referring Lord Farquaad to somebody that he worked with at Disney.